Hello. So I just want to share my screen and we are going to start. Okay. So hello everyone, I'm Schrire from Israel. Thank you for coming to my presentation on teacher learning and practice during the pandemic. The current research was conducted as part of my PhD research at the Faculty of Education, Science and Technology at the Technion in Israel, under the supervision of Dr. Dina Tsybulsky and in collaboration with Professor Kristen Ipsen from DTU University in Denmark. We will talk about teachers' experiences during the distance learning period with the outbreak of the COVID-19 crisis as an opportunity for professional growth. Before we begin, it is important to know the research background. So even before COVID-19, our era has been criticized by rapid and constant changes as part of the digital age. All systems, like education system, had to adapt quickly to a changing reality. It is not only about updating technological tools, but also internal changes in their perception and adaptation of digital pedagogy. The period presents many professional challenges that can be seen as an opportunity for professional growth. In order to examine teacher learning during this period, the present study uniquely presents the experiences of teachers participating in a professional community through lenses of professional identity. Therefore, the present study deals with a number of topics from the field of professional development. They are professional identity, learning in communities, and professional growth. So let's start with the definition of professional identity. So what is professional identity? Professional identity is defined as a self-understanding and a self-definition in emotional and cognitive reflective process. And why to explore identity? Because identity structure is essential for teacher learning and development behind the acquisition of knowledge and skills. Identity is also seen as the basis of meaning-making and decision-making and shape teaching methods. And how the identity developed? So we argue that identity developed through social mediation and interaction with others. So which identity, where that the teacher perception of themselves and their role in the time sequence and in different contexts reflect their professional identity in the present and in the future. So what is the wow point? Among the reasons for the interest in the field of professional identity studies is the fact that a change in identity helps to understand the process of learning. So there is many additional definitions exist for professional identity in the literature. This study adopts an integrated perspective which views teacher identities as an act and transformed in practice, in discourse and activity, like as a learning community activity, for example. And if we are already mentioned learning in community, then a space, an online space that offers professional learning is a space of VPLC, Virtual Professional Learning Community. In fact, a professional community is a group of people with a common interest working together to improve something they do on ongoing and supportive basis. The interaction in the virtual space together with a variety of technological research provides social learning and many opportunities. In this sharing process, community members develop themselves personally and professionally and therefore contribute to the development of their professional identity over time. So professional growth, does a period of crisis constitute a barrier to such growth or encourage growth? So during a crisis, teachers are more often involved in professional dilemmas and complex decision-making that characterize teachers' work anyway. But complex situations amplify the dilemma and can be a growth point for teacher development because challenges as professional dilemmas are characterized by the encounter between existing vision, so that coping itself produces relearning and professional growth. Also, the reflection that teachers do about this situation, these dilemmas, in fact, contribute to the process of improving their action in the future. So the aim of the study. The aim of the study is to reveal what were the mainstays of the professional experiences of coordinators during distance learning and teaching with the outbreak of the COVID-19 crisis. In addition, how the joint coping in the professional community with the professional challenges and dilemmas has led to new learning and professional growth. Therefore, these questions were formulated. What were the focal point of the experiences and interactions of coordinators during learning and teaching with the outbreak of the global epidemic? And how did the virtual professional learning community contribute to the coordinators in their coping? And the last question, has there been a professional growth of coordinators during this period? The participants were 17 biology coordinators from high school across the country, Israel. The coordinators meet every month in a learning professional virtual community that deals with two main topics. First, adapting biology teaching to the digital age, and professional managerial challenges that coordinators have in the role. Also, WhatsApp group constantly accompanies the community. Data collection and analysis were in deep interviews and observation on the community meetings. The research was done with a qualitative approach, and the data were analyzed using contact analysis. Findings. So the finding of the study, in answer to the first research question, the experiences of the coordinators from the complex period included reference to both difficult and experience that describe coping and overcoming difficulties. These difficulties have been described in statements regarding uncertainty about the situation, 22 statements, relating to the lack of knowledge about the future to come. Also statements that refer to instability, such as changing decision every day, 27 statements, and statements that relate to the pressure that characterized the period both in terms of system requirement, in terms of their students' need and stressful work. Alongside this experience were the coordinators describing their coping and response to that difficult, like showing the importance of previous experience and taking the reins in leading others, 27 statements. Also statements that refer to quick decision with pedagogical consideration, 34 statements. In addition, coordinators shared a sense of autonomy to act and create order within their private space. This finding can be seen as a strong card used by the coordinators to deal with the challenges of the period. Further to answering the first question, the findings show interaction of the coordinator with their environment. Many statements referred to flexibility, actually considering and understanding the needs of others, whether it is flexibility of the system with the coordinator, or whether it is flexibility of the coordinator with other teacher or with their students, 113 statements. It can also be that many interactions during this period included knowledge sharing and ability. As you can see, 79 statements from the interviews. In addition, it can be seen that a number of statements, 52 statements, expressed a sense of belonging to a group within the team or community. Regarding the second question of community contribution, the research finding from the interview and observation of community meeting show that the community participants find it a space that addresses a sense of partnership and emotional support. as well to shared freedom in pedagogical support. From the observation, one could see interaction between community participants that were sometimes characterized by critical discourse, but at the same time, an understanding that human and professional diversity is different and must be contained and accepted. During this interaction, the group participants discussed professional dilemmas and share share personal experience, understand their uniqueness in relation to others, and raise awareness and recognize their ability, aware of the cards they have, and in fact, formulate their self-perception and shape their professional identity. Contribution of the community actually connect to the answer to the third question regarding professional growth in this period. As mentioned, this study examines professional growth through professional identity work. Along with the community contribution, the coordinators shared statements that actually relate to their professional identity, like self-awareness, regarding self-awareness of my weakness and strength. These are things that I am aware of about myself, as well as the sense of agency to make a change and lead. In fact, these are statements that directly relate to the dimension of professional identity, as I will now present in the discussion section. So the finding of the study show that experiences and interaction are fertile ground for the development of professional identity, such as a self-awareness, autonomy, a sense of belonging, and agency leadership. If you remember the wow point, it is possible to understand whether learning accord in terms of identity. So the experiences and interaction that the coordinators had and shared with the community are in fact professional identity work. So the development of the professional identity of the coordinators during this period indicates new learning and professional growth. So in conclusion, the experiences from the complex situation led the coordinator to use their professional skills, some of which in fact reflect the dimension of their professional identity. And the reflective discourse on experiences with the community members and facilitators brought the coordinators to an aware of their ability, strong cards, and the uniqueness of their identity. And the professional growth is reflected in the identity work they have done in practice, both in dealing with the crisis and in their professional discourse in the community. So, research contribution. The theoretical contribution of research to the field of professional development of teachers emphasized the importance of professional identity in the practice of teacher, in particular for teachers with managerial role as coordinators, and especially in time of crisis. The practical contribution is in presenting the importance of the VPLC community as a space that encourages professional identity work and thus contributes to the professional growth of teachers. The implication of the research can help in formulating professional development programs in communities of teachers in general and of teachers in special roles like coordinators. Thank you, and I want to thank you also for your listening and wish you all continued successful day. And of course, if there are any questions or insight to share, I'm here. Thank you.